This is Partridge Radio.
Good afternoon. This is Partridge Radio, spice of the world, flavor of the airwaves. And this is African Heritage. I am your host, Amma. Welcome. Now, African Heritage is a program by Africans for everyone, where we talk about Africa, the good, the bad, the ugly, possible solutions, and what we hope to see or how we hope to see Africa thrive. Most times, I do not talk about these things alone, so it gladdens my heart to introduce my friend Elijah. Thank you, Ellie, for making our time to be here.
My pleasure.
Yeah. So 2 weeks ago we began a series on knowledge, and with the help of other guys who sadly are not here with us today, we were able to break down the word knowledge to its last bits, and from there we took a turn focusing on proverbs, African proverbs to be precise. So in Africa, proverbs are wise sayings, more like parables meant to point out hidden truths, and they kind of carry messages. They kind of carry, most times they carry warnings. So it's just left for you to think deep. So today we will be continuing with that and hopefully rounding up this part of proverbs so we can move to African idiomatic expressions. So we're basically trying to cover knowledge in proverbs and knowledge through idioms, which will be for next week, God's willing. So before we dive right into it, you know the drill on African Heritage, or we will try our best to round up this segment on proverbs, African proverbs. So my friend Elijah is here to take us through some African proverbs, and I will try as much as possible to decipher or break them down, decipher what they mean and stuff like that. So we're going to talk about it generally. Yeah, so don't get lost. So I will be letting Elijah take the floor. So Elijah, the floor is yours.
I actually like the fact that we've gotten to look into proverbs over the past 2 episodes of this program.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things I enjoy about proverbs is you get to see how African knowledge is formed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you notice, most of the proverbs we tend to study, you find that Africans are very particular about the elements in their society.
True.
When they need to make a proverb, they would want to make use of the most common simple things to create a lifelong lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Where if you the reason why Africans prefer using common things in their proverbs is because they want you to be relatable to the items being used and to the lesson that it gives.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, one of the proverbs I like, though it's a little bit technical, is this Sudanese proverb which says,
mm-hmm,
without fingers the hand will be a spoon.
Okay.
Now
it sounds
like
very odd.
It sounds very odd, but it's like
mm-hmm,
let me see, a redefinition of a popular English proverb.
Oh really? Okay.
No man is an island.
Oh wow, I never thought of that.
You never thought? Okay, listen. When you pick up your finger, when you pick up your hands, there are 5 fingers.
Yeah, true. Mm-hmm.
Which means each of them is independent, but it depends on the other to survive.
True.
But what is that one particular thing that does not have any other? A spoon is not independent. It's an
it has
island.
a handle.
No. A spoon is one single entity.
Okay, true. Yeah, true.
If it had been, we said, if I don't like calling this word because the pronunciation actually deals with a ferg. When a ferg has different what we call this is it Pringles or
No.
bots.
Mm-hmm.
A spoon is like an island. It walks alone. It is alone. But your hands are able to do. Let's take, for instance, you want to do something. Each finger can do a specific job, but all of them are serving the purpose of the hand. And it teaches us one basic thing about humanity. We need each other to survive, because when you look into what the hand can do and what the spoon can do, you discover that the hand can do a lot more things than what a spoon can do. We've seen one you like there.
Yeah. I love this proverb. It's a Nubian proverb. The hand that feeds you controls you.
Yeah, no, it's actually true. It's like
It's so true.
when you look into basic human psychology, if the people you tend to not want to offend are the people who control the resources that you are aiming for. For example, just most child psychologists will tell you to watch the actions of a child. A child is always friendly to the one adult who continually always gives to him. Like, we have a 6-year-old at home. Now, this boy doesn't love sharing any of his things with most of my siblings. But it's not the same case with me. And why? Because most times when I come back or when I have something on hand, I always give it to him. So when he's holding on to something and I say, please give it to me, he never hesitates, because what he understands the concept that, okay, this is where I gain I gain from him, so there's no way I would go against his wishes. So in a way, I can control him and I can control his reactions to basic human interaction, because what he knows what he gains from me.
True.
And that's why people will tell you in the world today that the best way to control a society is by controlling the economic resources that they have access to. And that is why the rich have power over the poor. It is nothing other than the food, which is money, power. And money and resources is power.
Power. True. Part of the world. Okay. There's this one. It's from Zanzibar. It goes like this: willing is a good man, but able is a better one. Do you know? It's more like talk and do. Okay, now there are lots of people. How I personally see it, there are a lot of people who have the desire to do stuff,
yes,
but don't do stuff. Then there are people who are just up and doing. That's what I think this proverb is talking about. It's just trying to say it's not okay to just say,
being willing to do something is good, but actually being able to do it is better.
It's not enough. Yes, exactly. So that's what it's trying to say.
And it's a good life lesson. It shows you that even though being willing to do something is okay, you get more satisfaction by actually being able to do it.
True.
Because willingness and action are two different things, and there's more satisfaction in actually acting out than rather be willing to act out.
Okay. Okay. Okay, this one from Niger.
Okay.
Even an ant can hurt an elephant.
Yeah. It actually has a very deep life lesson. And the thing is, we shouldn't be negligent to little mistakes.
True. Little things are important.
Little things actually matter. They're important. Which means that every little thing that happens around us requires our attention, because what? A little pickle, a little pinch can end up creating a large one. Like, I remember one of our neighbors when I was growing up in Barkeladi. We didn't know, she didn't know she was diabetic.
Oh wow.
And she had this, there was this minor wound that a small nail by the door caused on her leg. At the point it cost the one, we were telling her, just get to the hospital, try to attend to it. And she was like saying it's a normal one, so she went to the nearby local pharmacy
Okay.
and got it taken care of. But the truth is, that little thing ended up becoming the reason why her leg was amputated.
Oh my God.
Because it got infected, and with diabetic people, the ability to
heal is slower.
And that created a lot of problems. So when you see an African telling you that even an ant can kill an elephant, it is trying to tell you that even the little problems that you think do not matter at the moment would end up killing you, because the little ant may not. Okay, the elephant, we all know it has a thick skin, but there are points of vulnerability that the elephant has. Most bigger animals can't reach that point, but the ant can, because it can crawl up to those particular spots and it causes the most damage. And that's why it's important to take note of little things around us.
Yeah, okay. So the next one is a Nigerian proverb. It's very popular. Mothers say it a lot. You can wash a basket in the stream, but you cannot use it to carry water back home.
I think I'll let you to talk about this one.
I'm trying to think. You can wash a basket in the stream.
Okay, let's look at it this way. The stream. The stream is the constant in the proverb. Then we have the basket. You can wash the basket at the stream, but you cannot use it to fetch water, which means that the basket, when we look at it towards engaging it towards a life lesson, is even though, let me put it this way, even it has more to with the fact with doing things the right way. Even though it is even though something is right, you have to be able to do it the right way. Washing the basket at the stream is actually a good thing, but actually using the basket to fetch water at the stream
is completely wrong. Okay, I get. So you're trying to say you do the right thing the right way.
Yes.
Because people actually do the right thing. Thank you for that insight.
There's another meaning, but it escaped my mind. So subsequently, when I remember, I would come back to it.
Okay. Then there's this one. It's controversial. It's from Burundi. I'm going to argue it out.
I know you would argue that one now, because it has to do with one of your favorite things.
Creatures on earth. Dogs don't usually love people. They love the place where they are fed. Personally, I believe dogs love people, but let's not get into that argument. Dogs don't usually love people. They love the place where they are fed. I think this proverb is same with the hand that feeds you controls you.
Yeah.
So what you're trying to say is, like, most times people come to you not because they want to. I'm seeing it in a friendship light. People come to you, people try to stick to you not because they love you or there's something important or too great about you. Most times it's because of what they get from you.
Yeah.
Do you get? So that's what I think they're trying to say.
And people's relationship with you is dependent on what they can gain from you.
Exactly.
And when you put it that way, you just always expect something.
Yes.
We expect sentimental value like loyalty, fun, and other things. Even though it doesn't matter at first, even though it may not matter at first, when you look into the process of a friendship, you will discover that once a person goes against those little things that we expect from them, we get angry.
Yeah.
It's because when we went into that friendship, we had that expectation that particular need and desire will be met. So whenever they are not able to measure up, we become a little bit dismayed at their actions.
Yeah, I think to add to what you just said. The problem is most people limit the things we want from people to material stuff.
Yes.
That's it. Especially in this part of the world, it's all about material stuff. So people see it as a thing of pride to say, I am not materialistic. And I find it very funny when I hear people say, I am not materialistic. It just hits me differently. Oh well, people are people, so. Okay, now this one from Rwanda goes like this. When the shadow of a tree is bent, straighten the tree, not the shadow.
It's a very simple life lesson.
Yeah, it's easy.
Look at the problem and identify the solution. Do not. It's a lesson we all have to learn, because sometimes we have this issue of trying to. Okay, it's like what's the best analogy to actually use is you have a road and a pothole that actually constantly causes problem to your tire. You keep fixing the tire instead of fixing the pothole, and so it means that constantly that problem will remain. It's the same. It's the analogy is similar to the proverb, because what it tries to teach us is we should be focused on finding the cause of the problem and fixing it, and preferring solutions to it instead of always trying to bring stopgap solutions. We should go to the core problem so that we'll find a solution from there.
Okay. Okay. The next one is from Swaziland, and it goes like this. A tortoise makes progress when it strikes or when it sticks its neck out.
Okay.
I feel like it's still trying to. I feel like it's all about being able to do stuff. Like the other proverb we saw, where we said, willing is a good man, but able is a better man. I feel like in a way they are similar, because tortoises are generally slow creatures, and they love to stay in their shell. If you do a lot of Nat Geo wide, you see that these guys, they love to keep to themselves a lot, but then most times due to drought and stuff, maybe looking for food or water and stuff, they have to bring out their neck, which carries their head, so they can see, so they can actually go to fend for themselves. So I feel like it's trying to say you can't just sit back and keep waiting for things to happen.
Yeah.
No matter how slow you think you are, or no matter how not forthcoming it is, because there are times in life some things just don't come at once, and then we complain, but we can't just keep complaining. Sometimes it's good to move, even though you do it slowly. It's good to take a step. I feel like that's what's trying to say. I just don't know how to put it well.
Okay, let me use these words. It's a definite life lesson. We should always try to plan ahead, so that whatever comes, we are better prepared for it. I think that's it's actually one of the proverbs I love a lot, because it touches on on one of the most core human lessons. You should always be prepared, and you are only prepared if you can stick your head out to see what is before you.
Okay, that's another way of looking at it. Okay. Nice. So
this particular proverb is just trying to point our minds in the direction that tragedy will come. Things about life would always happen. And so the counter lesson we should learn is, how do we react to it?
Okay. This other one too is anonymous, and I think it's quite hard. Okay. We scare away the wolf before we advise the goats. Like I can't think of anything.
Okay. It's actually, maybe it's because of the allegorical nature of the proverb, but it's actually simple.
Okay.
Like most people, when they read Animal Farm the first time, they didn't understand it because it was animals being used to display the attitudes of humans. But a wolf and a goat. A wolf is a predator that is meant to attack the goat. And now the other character in the story is a man. If the man drives the goat, the wolf away, it means it has protected the goat. What this means is that, first of all, when a child is in imminent danger, is doing something wrong and is in imminent danger, you do not scold him first. You rather protect him from that particular danger, then correct. You protect, then correct. And it's a simple basic life principle, and that when we discuss parenting, this would have actually helped us. It is sometimes more important for us to compliment before correcting, because if we correct first, we might lead that particular child or individual into direct danger. But yeah, if you are able to bring that person closer to you first, and identify his faults to him while protecting him from what would have happened if he had gone into it in the first instance, when he comes into the same situation, he would use your advice because he has seen you actively protecting him from such situations before.
Okay. Our last proverb for today is a Bantu proverb. I've noticed that Bantu guys have a lot of proverbs.
Yeah.
Bantu
Sosa.
It goes like this: the road does not tell the traveler what lies ahead.
Yeah, I think this is the most difficult one we've come across today.
Yeah, the road does not tell the traveler what lies ahead. So
the only thing that comes to my mind is actually we cannot see the future.
Me too. Like
we see the future as we walk on the road, or
more like taking risks. You just have
take
to
risk. You just have to walk the path and expect whatever comes, because you cannot see far ahead. The only thing that you can see is what the minute you are in. And that's why if we come to the most of us come to the understanding at some point in our lives that the only thing we have control over is now. We cannot control the past, we cannot control the future. So the only thing we can control is our movement in the time that we are in now.
True.
And so when we look at the proverb, we actually cannot see the road ahead.
Yes, and I actually love the lesson this one holds. Taking it from what you just said, a lot of people just try to control everything, even their future. You see parents trying to make sure that everything just goes so smooth. People who have the power and resources try to control the future, and at the end of the day, like the coconut thing we talked about, it's still okay, let me put it like this: what will be will be. Whatever wants to happen will happen. So we should try not to get ahead of ourselves. We should just take life easy, like just take it one step at a time. Begin first, and then whatever comes your way, you just tackle it as you go, as you move forward. So that's my take-home lesson from all the proverbs I've heard today, because I noticed that in the course of the 2 weeks we've been talking about proverbs, they have been very particular about time, just taking patience. Patience.
And that's why when we were defining what a proverb means, I told Kenzie was particular about the emphasis of time on proverbs, and I remembered saying that proverbs is a conscious knowledge learned over time. It means that any knowledge learned over time is actually everything that we learn it for the purpose of what? of knowing how best to use our time. Time is one of the most essential commodities of humanity.
True.
Because living is about time. From the moment you are born to the day you leave this earth, it's time.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Elijah, for helping us out today with a lot of proverbs. I think I should introduce Elijah properly, because I've heard people ask, Elijah, he's so God, this guy has a lot. So I think you should check him out on his social media handle, Elijah Abuni Peter on Facebook. That's the only social media platform I know he uses the most.
I've tried the Instagram thing. I don't think it's not just for me now. Twitter, I should be maybe subsequently I can pass across my Twitter handle. Yeah,
so Elijah is good with this stuff because he's a graduate of theatre arts from the University of Jos, and he's a writer and a poet. So this is more of his field, and I really appreciate you coming to help me out despite the short timings and sometimes the impromptu messages. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Okay, guys, there are still so many African proverbs with lots of sense in them, but we cannot cover everything. So you can make a research and pick out your favorites. And like I said, my number is there for you to text in your proverbs, and if there's anything you want us to talk about, your suggestions are highly welcome. So on behalf of the African Heritage team, I want to say a big thank you to our listeners from all over the world. Recently my producer was telling me we get listeners from Russia, from Egypt, and those parts of the world, and I was really impressed. Thank you guys for the love and support, and to my producers, the General and my boss Agnes, and all those here in the studio with me who have made today's episode a success. I just want to say thank you. So stay safe, guys, and have a blessed evening until we come your way next time.